The new Restructuring Landscape Report that we are publishing is a Teneo assessment of the current credit markets, both in public and private arenas, our expectation of the refinancing needs over the next 12 to 18 months, and our views on how that may play out, taking account of the macro environment that we're now experiencing. We took the decision to publish the report now based on our expectation of the level of high yield issuance that will be required to be refinanced over the next 12 to 18 months, and we calculate that in the range of $1 to $1.5 trillion. Now, you can argue there is always an impending liquidity refinancing wall, but it feels particularly relevant now given the scale and also the macroeconomic environment. We think the level of refinancing requirement over this shortcoming period is probably the most significant since the GFC in 2008-2009. The restructuring playbook is changing for a number of reasons. Firstly, we see a heightened level of scrutiny into borrower performance as a consequence of changing in the macro environment. Secondly, we see the challenges associated with the end of the ultra-low financing period which existed particularly between 2019 and 2021. And thirdly, we see a slowdown in the number of out-of-court refinancings that have taken place, which is resulting in more in-court situations, as demonstrated by the increase in Chapter 11s, which were up 72% year on year in the first quarter of 2026. There have been a number of high-profile collapses in the recent past, highlighting a series of alleged frauds, misrepresentations, and misfeasance allegations. This includes double pledging of assets, inappropriate reporting or lack of reporting, and we see this featuring not only in those larger cases, but also in a number of similar situations in the mid-market, highlighting challenges to lenders as a consequence of borrower behaviour. So in conclusion, we are forecasting continued activity, or probably more likely increased levels of restructuring activity over the next 12 to 18 months, including more significant balance sheet restructurings and also lender equitisations in order to solve the problems that borrowers are facing.